to my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks. You're now rocking with the best of Don, Tony, Teflon. As always, subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. As you can see, the Don is rocking some new software. All right, got some new software up in this piece. We're test running it right now. This will be the new software, no doubt, going forward. But, we're still test running it out right now. You know what I'm saying? We are still doing it, making sure. So maybe a little bumps in the road and stuff like that. But we are going to run this. My team will be here. Phil, the issues guy. Bridge 4 will be here. They are not here right now. Why? Because right now for Phil, it is a Jewish holiday. If y'all not aware, Phil is Jewish. He is celebrating that with his family. He will be here as soon as it's done. Bridge 4 is on Bridge 4's time. He a little diva sometimes. It takes him a second. Also, we will be joined by David Lightbringer. Will jump up in here. Y'all asked for him last week. We talked about it and everything else. And he will be up in this piece. All right, so this is a little bit later. So I didn't want to keep y'all waiting out there. You know what I mean? I didn't want y'all just to be sitting there waiting for me to have people come on and stuff. So I figured that I will come out here and entertain you the best I can while people on here. But while I do that, let's say what up to a couple of people that are here right now. And we are rocking right now. We see Alyssa Casanova saying new software looks great. Thank you so much. Carla Way is in the building right now. And she says, hello, Muhammad, my brother from another mother. What's going on? My man Matt is in the building. Elamar is not here. Elamar, hopefully we'll get her in here before the season's over. I know she'll be back for From. When From comes out, that's next year though, right? So she needs to be here before. Me and Elamar need to have a conversation. What up to my man, right? Takes me a second. Sonic, your boy, what's going on, man? Big T. I like the sound of that, baby. I like the sound of that. But yeah, let me know if you like the new software, if you think it looks good and everything else. Let me know how you're feeling and everything else. And if you do, if you want something different, let me know. You know what I mean? We trying to get it popping, man, up in here. You know what I'm saying? What up to my man Chris Smalls? New look for Teflon TV. Looks good. I appreciate that. This is the new look. We're gonna go with this for a while. You know what I mean? And we're gonna try to keep everything popping like this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we got some new software popping off here and everything else. So not without further ado, I know we don't want to just sit here and talk about this. And it is a call-in show, but I don't know the number right offhand. I have to wait till Phil gets here, and then I'll put it in the ticker as soon as it gets here. All right. And we'll say what up to my girl AK47 is in the building rocking with us right now. Saying what up to JD is in the building too, rocking with us right now. All right. So let me say let's get right into it. And what I want to start off with right off the bat, the Don Tony Teflon, what I want to start off with is the man himself, the man himself, Sir Criston Cole. We got to talk about Sir Criston Cole. Now, I really wish these dudes was here so I could talk about him. You know what I mean? I wish we could talk about Sir's side piece with the other brothers, but they'll be in here a little bit. But right now, we're going to talk about Sir Criston Cole and his actions. Was he justified for his actions of what he did? And I want y'all in the chat to let me know. Do you think that it was right now? Was it realistic that Sir Criston Cole could do this and get away with what he got away with? That he can go on there and then get away with going on there and just beating up, this is the royal wedding, all right? So we have to put it in our world. If we put it in our world, you would have to say this would be like the president's wedding, all right? Or if you want to talk about, even if you went to England, you talk about Harry or one of the princes, right? Prince William's wedding to Kate Middleton. Could you go in there and beat up? The groom? Smack the groom around that murder somebody in the... Now, I know these are different times. I know it is. But I'm saying, how did he get away with that? How did he not get executed by that right off the bat? I would think that if it came down to it, now, the person he did kill the Night of Kisses, he's not a minor nobody. He's from a noble family. You would think that his family alone would say, listen, this guy just murdered my son. I need the king's justice, right? Like, how does he get away with that? You know what I mean? Now, there's no Allison to protect him in this situation. Even if Allison, let's just say Allison wanted him and wanted to protect him. Now, he probably thought that he was going to go to jail or get in trouble for this. You don't really go to the black cells because he wanted to kill himself, right? We did see him do that. He was about to kill himself. So most likely that's what he thought. But the fact that she was just able to come out there and say, yo, so Criston, and then he just turns his head, and now presumably he's good. You know what I'm saying? Presumably he all right. He ain't got nothing wrong with him. So I don't know how that cat pulled that off. Obviously, it has nothing to do with his dick game, because his dick game is whack. All right, let's call it what it is. His stroke game is lame. He had a very slender woman, and she was like, "Listen, I'm willing to sleep with you," but that's about how does this dude feel that he gonna tell a princess, someone who about to be queen, right? You about to be queen. I don't know. It's hard to compare that to something. You know what I mean? But let's just say it was a woman and she was about to become president of the United States. And this guy just went through and said, hey, after sleeping with her one time, said, hey, listen, girl, listen. I know you're about to be president. I know you are. I know. But listen, we can get on a boat. We can go to Iraq or wherever you want. And I can get a little jobby job over there. And, and we could be together. And you got to worry about all that. No, what's checking? Ain't no chick turning that down. If you took a chick that was going to be an actress in Hollywood and you said, yo, I got a fast car. And besides singing the Tracy Chapman song to you, I got a fast car. Is it fast enough for you to drive away? If it was something like that, right? And she was singing that joint to you, would you still think that person that says, I don't give a fuck how fast your car is, motherfucker. I'm going to Hollywood. You work at Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let me say, listeners, thank you so much for the super chat. I truly appreciate that. Let me go back up and put that on the screen for you right here. Right there. It says, listeners, I liked your last video on the House of the Dragon. Tony, thank you. No, thank you. I appreciate it 100%. I truly do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, how could you expect somebody to run off with you after you slept with them one time? Now, one time. And all of a sudden, that's what it was. People are asking what the number is. I don't know the goddamn number offhand. I don't. I'm going to get you the number. As soon as Phil is here, I'll get you the number and I'll put the number in there. Where are you, Bridge? What's going on? I don't see you here. I will let me send you a link again. All right. I'll send you another copy of the link, Bridge, and just click on it. And it should be good. I don't know why it wouldn't be good. Let me get this to you. Try that one right there. It looks like the same one, right? I just sent it again, Bridge. Give that a shot and see if that works. Again, this is all in a process right now. Everything else seems to be working fine, so I don't know why that one wouldn't be working right now. I share screen, that's react and everything else. But Bridge 4 is in the building. Hopefully get Bridge 4 in here in a second. Trying to get him in. Seems to be a little issue going on there. And we'll see if we can get him in. Maybe Phil is having the exact same issue. Let me check and see if he's having the same issue real quick. I'm sorry about this, but we got to make sure that everything, that this is good for you guys, right? So let me see. All right, I think he should be good there. Let me see let me click that link myself and see what it does. Yeah, it should work. So it should work. All right. So Bridge, it should work, man. I just clicked it myself and it came up here and everything else. So all right, here we go. We got somebody here just joined. So let me bring them on screen. Oh, let's take them off screen. Oh, there it is. All right. Bridge, your camera's on.
Can you hear me? I don't have my. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna let me just see something. Yeah, I gotta set up my camera. I can talk. I'll do it without the camera for now. I'm gonna try to set this up.
All right, you do that. Let me, why you do that? I
Real
may
quick,
have to.
I heard
Yeah,
you talking about Sir Criston Cole, right?
yep.
So Sir Criston Cole, the first thing. So they set up the whole episode. Well, it might have been even the prior episode where he goes up to her like you were saying, and he's like, "Hey, I want to elope with you." Blah blah blah. It doesn't really make any sense, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the whole, and it might have been the same episode. The whole episode, then it's like he's just getting frustrated. He's real frustrated. You can tell that he's seeing red. And then Joffrey Longmouth with his big mouth comes over and he starts like, he's a pain in the ass. Then when Joffrey Longmouth goes to walk away from him, Sir Criston Cole even starts to move the hilt of his sword, and Joffrey Longmouth still bumps into his sword. So basically he's at a boiling point, right?
Oh, he squeezed his ass too.
Did he?
Yeah, he squeezed his ass.
I didn't notice that. He grabs his
Oh
butt.
yeah. When he walked away, he squeezed Chris. Now listen, I'm not bugging here. Chat. Did y'all see Joffrey squeeze Criston Cole's ass? He did. He definitely squeezed his ass, without a shadow of a doubt. At least people were like, really? He did. I know he did. I'm not making that up. Not at all. But he definitely squeezes. Let's see if anyone else did now. No. So it rings anytime someone comes on and alerts me. So that's how I know when people are on. But Bridge is still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's just I'm having issues with the camera. But real quick, what I wanted to get to though is that the whole episode sets it up as if Criston Cole just snaps and attacks Joffrey Longmouth. But we don't know that for sure that that's what happened because we didn't see what happened. So I have this theory that basically like you've got Damon trying to steal Rhaenyra, right? So this is a
Yeah.
wedding. This isn't the wedding. Like they're not married yet. She's not married to Laenor, but like they're going to get married after 7 days of a feast. So all of a sudden you've got Damon pulling her face to face and being like, "Yo, I want to marry you. What are you doing?" So in my head, I'm like, what if they just misled us? What if it's actually like Joffrey Longmouth came up to Damon, like, "What are you doing? Get away from her. She's engaged." And then Criston Cole actually did his job. What if he attacked Joffrey Longmouth to save Damon? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. So they didn't show it, and it's the fact they didn't show it. We can speculate on what we think exactly happened. And I like the fact that they didn't show it. I thought that was a good way that's presented. Right, that we don't know for sure exactly the way it went down because they didn't show it. But we're assuming that he just lost his mind and just started punching this dude in the face. And then after that, because we do see Joffrey try to get involved. Not Joffrey. We do see Laenor try to get involved. And why else would he get involved if it didn't have anything to do with his man? You know what I'm saying? Like if it was just him messing around with this, I think it would be something with someone else. I think it may have been something different.
So I don't know. I'm like I said, I initially was assuming that he just snapped, but I don't think so. I think there's more to it that we'll eventually find out. Because I think he came up to Damon. They got in a little scuffle, and then they started like him and Damon started wrestling. And then Rhaenyra's like, "Yo, Laenor, help out here!" And it turns out Criston Cole came over.
So you think that
I think Criston Cole actually did his job. Like I don't think he did anything wrong. I think it's going to turn out that he like saved Damon's life, something like that.
We got a new subscriber, Anthony Smith, to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Welcome to the family. Oh, glad that you subscribe to the channel, man. And truly appreciate it. Oh, that's the calling number right here. I don't even know if I would dare call the number to my own show. But there it is right there. It's on screen. Let me put it on screen. Renee, put it up there. Let me put it up there for you. That's the caller number. If you want to call in, you call in there, 781-990-8509. Let me see if I can put that on the ticker real quick. I know I can. Let me edit that. right there and put that number there. 781-990-8509. There we go. All right.
Can you not see my camera? Like I don't know where the options are in this program. I
All
can't
right.
tell.
Let me see. So you say your camera should be up and
I
running?
think it's plugged in. Yeah.
All right. Let me see.
Oh no, it says I have to troubleshoot it. Never mind. Keep going.
It says what?
Yeah, I'll do this offline. Still troubleshooting it or something.
Oh, Dope Bandits just subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. We truly appreciate you becoming a part of the family, man. For real, for real. All right, thank you. I mean, again, I'm sorry. This is brand new software. No test run. We just came out here with the brand new software and just running it. And I'm even on the screen that it's looking like that's not supposed to be. Like, supposed to be something different, but I put it like this. It's not just supposed to be me. It's supposed to be the background and everything else, but I got bridge in the box, the small box, or I have them over here. It don't look right, so I got to put them in a small box right here. So, no, this goes to here. This is. Oh, I can't. All right, so it won't allow me to do that without there. All right, that's what it is. So I have to do it this way. This is. The other one is. I'm just better with the other one. I'm not good at this one yet, Bridge. I'm not good. I don't know why. What is it saying what's going on? What's wrong with it?
No, it's just troubleshooting. It says like basically I don't have a camera plugged in, even though I do. So I'm not sure.
You do. I don't know why I say. Your mic is coming across fine. So I don't know why your camera wouldn't be. We got LLL. David Lightbringer is rocking with us right now. He'll be on a little. And we got Steve Foreman just subscribed too. Welcome to the family. We got a bunch of people who are just subscribed. We truly appreciate you being there. We will play your calls in 1 second. I promise you. All the calls is call in 781-990-8509. I'll play all your calls. We just play them in the next. All right, there we go. There we go. Now I see you.
So I just had to drop off and come back or whatever.
All right, there it is. Now we got Bridge Force in the building. Now we're missing a couple other people gonna be rocking with us and stuff. Maybe I should take off the chat right there, going over your face. No one wants to see that like that.
No, that's fine. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't think it makes. I could always move to the right or something like that.
Well, I think when someone else comes on, we'll switch it up a little bit and stuff. So, all right. So, Bridge Forward is rocking with us right now. We have a couple other people, and I promise you, just call the number, leave your voicemail, and then we will definitely take your calls and we'll play your calls. I promise you that. We will do that a little bit later. That's just the way that the show works. All right. Right now we just talking about. All right. So the fight itself, because that was the main issue. That's the main thing that went down is this fight. Yeah. So you're thinking that now listen. I was about to say Rhaegar, but Damon was just, you know what I mean? He was out of line, 100% out of line. You know what I mean? And he had no business running up in there, grabbing her up, but she seemed to be with it. Yeah. She was kind of like, listen, take me right now, I'll go.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like she was more like the wildling way, right?
Exactly.
That's what it seemed like. Like she was about that wildling lifestyle. Like, listen, you want me? Take me right now, and I'm yours. Yep. If you're man enough to do it, if you're man enough to pull that off, go do it. Let's get this popping right now. You know what I mean? And it seemed like Damon was about to do it until that fight broke out. And you're thinking that he had something to do with the fight. Oh, you muted yourself.
Yeah, because so what I think is Joffrey Longmouth, he was loving the situation. He was loving the fact that Laenor was going to become the king, because then he'd be living the life. He's like the secret boyfriend to the king. Mm-hmm. Now he sees Damon stepping in, totally about to ruin everything. Because Rhaenyra, like, if Damon grabbed her, she would have gone away with him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think off screen, Joffrey Longmouth walked up to Damon and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then they got into a little fight, and that's when everything went down. And of course, I think Criston took it overboard because of everything else that happened. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to find out that Criston actually just did his job.
I hate Criston. I hate him. I do. Sir Side Piece. I can't stand him. Number one, I don't like a needy man. A man who just, especially a man whore like himself that he's confessed to be. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Thank you to Juliana Simone's. How you say it, Rich? Can I see it on? Can you see it on the screen?
No, I cannot see it on the
You
screen.
can't see it on the screen. You can't see the screen. I'm seeing it, right?
Nope.
Oh, all right. Julianne, thank you. S. Thank you for subscribing. Truly appreciate that 100%. Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the guy, and I'm gonna say yes. I am a little biased towards him, not liking him. I am. I don't like him. I didn't like him when I read the story. I don't like this guy playing him. I think he's done. He beat a man to death, which I have nothing against anyone beating someone to death. This thing is just so fast, so weird. This using something new, Bridge.
Yeah.
I'm just so used to doing the other one. It's just he's from Dawn. Let him follow his culture. But that's got nothing to do with his culture.
He's from. He's not from Dorne. Didn't he fight against Dorne? He's from really a little bit north of Dorne in the Stormlands. They actually fight against the Dornish. I'm pretty sure.
And I mean, I think you would think he's from Dawn because it said that when they showed him, he took off his mask. You know, Rhaenyra said, "Oh, he's Dornish."
Yeah, that was misleading. I think Allison said that, and it was like, wait a second, is he Dornish in the show? But really, it's like, his ancestors are probably, some of them come from Dorne. He's actually from the Dundarians, like Lord Beric Dondarrion. I think it's Starfall. That's a really important castle in the history and lore. He's from I think he was a squire of the Dundarians.
Let me say what up to Veta launched Final Flash. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Truly appreciate you subscribing to the channel and everything else. Let's see if I can get this one right this time. All right, Dave Lightbringer says also Criston fight happened about 15 to 20 feet away from Damon and Rhaenyra. So listen, it does add up to Bridges' theory that maybe it was Damon who started this fucking fight. Maybe he was, or maybe Damon was about to snatch her away. Criston Cole seen it and reacted. Now,
no, I think Lonmouth started the fight because he didn't want Damon to mess up the wedding, basically.
So you think that Lonmouth seen Damon about to kidnap Rhaenyra?
Yep.
He said, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?" Damon hit him.
Exactly.
Criston Cole came, and then Criston Cole just jumped on Damon's side about it.
Exactly. I think that's the twist, is that like these two have been rivals the whole time. I think we're going to find out that Cole actually came to Damon's defense in this situation, because he's like, aside from his cracking and doing it with Rhaenyra, this guy is one of those people that he's obsessed with his code. And what is his code? His code is to defend the prince and the princess.
I agree. That is a code that he definitely does. I don't know if I can go with that. Well, Super Shirley Beans just subscribed. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for subscribing. I don't know if I can agree with them saying that this is the that he would defend Damon. I don't think it's been pointed out like that. I really just think that this dude lost his mind not because the dude squeezed his ass. I don't think he was mad about that. I think it was everything. I think that was the boiling point. Because you seen how when Rhaenyra said to him, because he was like, "Listen, I want to run away with you." And then she's like, "No, we ain't got to run away. I can't run away. I'm doing this, but we don't got to stop doing what we're doing." And he was like, "Oh, you want me to be your man whore? You want me to be your whore?" So I think, and he got upset and walked away then. I think it was the same thing once this guy came over to him. It was the same situation of basically them calling him a whore again. You know what I mean? And him having to be, and he didn't want that. He's like, "I want to be your man. I'm not happy just being your side piece." You know. No, we got Phil's in the building. Let's see if we can bring him on real quick.
I mean, every clue that they gave us.
Phil, you good to come on? You good to come on, Phil? There he is. All right. 1 minute. 1 second. Phil will be on in 1 second. And then when Phil is on, then we can start accepting, taking your call. Jose Torres, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Truly appreciate it. Listen, make sure you hit that thumbs up for your boys. All right. Make sure you're the usual suspects. We hit every week. Bridge 4 will be on tomorrow, all right, with his own stream. And then the usual suspects, the Don Tony Teflon, Fill the Issues guy, Bridge 4. We will all be on Direwolf City tomorrow night with our sister podcast, the ladies of Direwolf City. So we'll all be on with them tomorrow night, and then we'll see maybe the next weekend we'll have them all on here, and then we'll try to do it like that once, before it's all said and done. We'll get them all on here and everything else. All right, so that to me was the biggest thing of the show. The guy's face kind of looked like like what the Mountain did. You know what I mean? I think they've duplicated that very well. He looked like Oberyn Martell when he was beat up. I mean, Oberyn's the whole back of his head was smashed, though. It's a little different, but I think that's what they were going for.
It's also different in that Criston Cole is like 160 pounds, whereas the Mountain's 340 pounds, and he had a gauntlet. Criston Cole didn't have a gauntlet. Like, I'm not the one to like critique shows, but it was funny. Like, you've got this guy punching with a bare hand, and he's smashing in someone's face. I watch like usually around 10 to 20 fights every single weekend for the last 10 years. I've seen thousands of fights. That's never happened.
No, I've never seen anyone's face get that damaged with no gloves on or anything. Even with brass knuckles, I've never seen a damage like that. Let's bring on Phil, the Issues guy. And there he is. What's going on, Phil?
Not much. How's it going, guys? Good to be here.
What's happening,
Phil? We're here. We got new software.
I know it feels weird. I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm, tiptoeing into a new house, and I'm like, oh, am I pushing the right buttons and hitting the right switches? But it is good to be here, and we do have a handful of voicemails and a couple of texts whenever you're ready. And yeah.
Real quick, I just want to make a correction since I said something wrong. It was Tony or someone in the chat said, I forgot. The Mountain didn't even smash him with his gauntlet. He just used Mountain strength, grabbed his head, and squeezed it like a.
Yeah, he popped his head like a balloon.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was wild. I know, and that guy is the world's strongest man in real life. But I can sort of believe that only because in the books, the Mountain is 8 feet tall. This is an enormous. Like, he's not a real human. This is someone different.
Yeah, it looked like something Ivan Drago would do to a piece of meat. And I do know I'm crossing over two things, but it looked like Drago's in the lab going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Or it was like a prison riot type situation where someone's jumping on top of them going crazy. I think Orange is the New Black and Oz both have a scene with one with Tobias Beecher and then one with Crazy Eyes doing that to somebody, like just go on top going crazy. And
well, what was Crazy Eyes was getting her ass kicked by Piper. Like that.
No, that was Punxsutawney. That was the little girl.
Oh yeah. You're right. Crazy Eyes did whoop ass like that, and Pennsatucky.
Right. Crazy Eyes broke up that fight by beating the crap out of Piper. I just did her. Sorry to all go Orange and New Black.
But Piper beat the hell out of Pennsatucky.
Yeah. Because they just basically said to her, Tasty was like, "You're bigger than her. Why are you afraid?
What are you scared of that little girl for?"
Yeah.
And that was it. All right, well, we'll talk about that. We will go to the board. I know y'all been waiting to go to these voicemails. We're here. Let's go to a couple of voicemails.
Okay, this is from area code 2. Sorry, Bridge. Area code 212.
What do you all think about Bran knowing all of this information but never telling any of it to Dany or Jon?
What are we talking about there?
You talking about like everything that happens that we've seen in the series, because so much of it has happened in front of a tree, that Bran knows all of this and somehow didn't impart it to. I wouldn't see where the upside for Bran to share that information with Dany and Jon in the moment. There was a lot more prime things happening at the time, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I would say that Bran was in it for himself. He said, "I'm here to be king. That's why I came." He leaked the information about Jon's birth because he knew that would make a fight between Dany and make a fight between Jon and the rest of them. That's why he leaked his parentage out there, put that out there, because he knew in the end all that would lead to him being king. And that's exactly what he said in the end. This is why I came. Again, it's not Bran. It's the three-eyed raven, the last green seer. Bran is body snatched. He's no longer alive. It's not Bran anymore.
Yeah, I think it's Bran. Like, I think that's why he sent the horse to Arya to help her, because there is a piece of him that's still Bran. In terms of like, why didn't he tell people things? I think a big misconception is that like he doesn't know the future. The future is metaphors. Ultimately, it's like the past is written, the ink is dry, but so is the future. That's why it's sort of like you can see the future and try to change it, but you're not going to change anything. That's why Melisandre always failed. Things just come to fruition in the way that they're going to come to fruition.
you might be able to interact with it, but it's going to happen one way or another. And Tony, when you said that, it just made me think Dana's not here, only Zool. You know, Bran is gone now. Only the three-eyed, only the puppet of the children.
I'm sorry. Let's get this. Let's do a whole reset. I didn't even have a chance to say what up to everybody. Let's try to say. Let's try. We got Bridge 4 rocking with us.
Oh my lord!
We have Silver Issues guy rocking with us.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
And it's me, the Don Tony Teflon. Yeah.
They laughed at you, bro.
You get the George Costanza intro. You get the George Costanza.
Oh, that's good.
What up, great area? She's out here. She can jump on too if she wants to jump on. We got room for anyone who wants to go. All right, we got another call.
Yep.
We'll take another.
Absolutely. This is from area code 732.
That was funny.
Hey guys, big fan of the show. Excited to see David's on today. And my comment that I want to make is about Rhaenyra and Viserys' relationship. Oh, sorry. Let me do that again.
Oh, he didn't call back again, but he struck out the first time.
Wait, we got to do something for that.
I was curious. Area code 732. Get back here. Get back here. Yeah. Dun. Here we go. Let's try this one. This is from Brad.
This is I, Brad, from Florida, the Baratheon. And tonight, we will see blood.
Wow. That's foreboding. Oh, my goodness. And here we go. This is from area code 478.
Thank you, Abu.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Philip, calling from Macon. Tony, I love the show. I actually met you at the Con of Thrones in Nashville, the very first one they had.
Nice.
I was the guy that had the token Summer Islander shirt on.
Yes, sir. I know you.
Thanks for all you do. I did have a question about the Valerians, seeing as though they are one of the more ancient and old houses. Wouldn't it make sense for us to see Corlys and maybe his kids speak High Valerian instead of it just being a language that we just see Damon and Rhaenyra speaking to each other? Do you think we'll see any other characters speak High Valerian? Thanks. Have a good night.
You know, I think he makes a very good point, and I 100% remember you from out there, bro, without a doubt. They should. You would think that at least Laenor would speak it to Rhaenyra or something like that, right? They would speak it to each other, or Rhaenys would speak it to Corlys or something like that. But you would think that they speak it too. What do you guys think? You think they just want only the Targaryens to speak it, and like it's their secret thing? Is that why they're doing it that way, or you think they should have spread it around a little bit more?
I think they're specifically doing it, or not. They're using it as a tactic on the show to show the closeness of Rhaenyra and Damon, in the sense that they share some sort of, in the thread of saying it, as Viserys said, the blood of the dragon or something. Just to, I feel like they're doing it just to show that they're more connected to all of that. But I do hope to hear more of it moving forward.
Yeah, first of all, I just think that's a great question. I never thought about that. In terms of will they in the show, if I had to bet, I'd say no. Maybe like a one-liner, like from Corlys or something like that. But it would be pretty cool to hear them do it. Absolutely.
And I agree that Jacaris does not count. All right, we've heard them all say that word. You know, that doesn't count. They do deserve to say something to, you know, everybody else. Listen, Abu, thank you. If I didn't get a chance, let me say it again. Abu just subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And everything else. Again, if you want to call in, the call number is 781-990-8509. We'll be here until 8:30. You got an hour more to rock with us, and we're going to be talking about this and then get you ready to go until the next episode is airs tonight. And
till the next episode.
So what people in the chat want to know, what level of spoilers are we doing within this chat?
We're not doing any spoilers.
Nothing beyond what we've seen in the show, even if they've read the books.
Yeah, don't say, because we don't know who's read the book and who hasn't read the book. We can do a straight spoiler stream and just talk about it, but this is not that. This is just there's a lot more people most likely didn't read the books than did. So I don't want to ruin nothing for them. No spoilers at all tonight. No spoilers. Thank you. I appreciate everybody who doesn't do any spoilers tonight and everything else. Again, the Teflon TV call number 781-990-8509. Do we have another one?
Yes, we do. We got a few more. This is from area code 602.
Hey, Tony. Hey, everyone. I was just wondering, because I mentioned in the chat, like, I was just wondering how come Prince Laenor got his head smashed in by the Lannisters. I think they were the Lannisters. I was just wondering, how did they even get away with that, and what was the motive? Was it just an all-out brawl fight, or was it like some other alternative motive that the Lannisters jumped in and did that to Prince Laenor? Just a question. Thanks.
I didn't see that personally. I didn't see that it was the Lannisters. I thought it was
he
all
got thrown across the table by a Lannister.
Oh, so they were just being. I think they were just being Lannister about it.
It could have been. It could have been an order because his guy got turned down, by the princess. So he could have been on order, like, yeah, take a cheap shot at him right now. It could have been a situation like that.
Oh, I totally missed that.
What do you think, Bridge?
I know the scene you're referring to. When I watched it, I had seen a guy in red. I'm not sure it's Lannister red. I vaguely remember it being like a pinkish type red. I'm actually going to look for the scene now, and I never actually, after thinking about it, I never actually went back and
go look and see him grab his ass too, because I'm telling you, did. Phil, did you see the kissing night grab the ass of Criston Cole?
I'm not sure if it was a grab, but it was a baseball like buddy in sports tap, like when you tap the.
There was no buddy. No, you don't buddy tap. That's not a buddy tap.
Right. But it was like the foot.
They weren't playing sport.
Baseball, like good game, buddy. He gave him like the good game, buddy ass slap.
You can hear it when he hit it.
It was a little pop. There was a
pop to it. It wasn't like he. I mean, listen. It wasn't a handful.
No. It seemed like a good game, buddy. Kind of slap.
Yeah, there was no game. You can't have good game, buddy, with no game.
He thought they're both in a game, though. Like his impression of that situation is, we're both playing this game. You play your part, I play my part. We both get what we want. Good game, buddy. Good job giving it to the princess.
He definitely took it. It was definitely no good game, buddy. There, you can't good game, buddy. Me, buddy. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special kind of closeness. That's a teammate.
Yeah. That's a special type of teammate.
David Lightbringer says, I rewatched it carefully. I'm 98% sure it was a back pat.
His hand was too low for the back pat. His hand was low down there.
It was back into the left. The left. We gotta Zapruder film this shit. We gotta get it back into the left. Back into the left.
Oh, he knew what he was doing. He was like, yeah. But he had no business running up on him and talking. He should have kept his mouth shut.
No, he wanted to be the talk of the walk of the situation, and he didn't know who he was talking to. Chris, he was talking to someone that was unbalanced and feeling butthurt about the situation and just waiting for someone to explode on. Bridge?
Yeah, so I'm not positive because it's just the angle of the fight. You can't really tell. But I went back and looked at a second scene. You know when they have the entrances and the Lannisters walk in? On the very right-hand side, there is a guy with a similar shape, like a red thing. It's like angled, like like the it's angled to here and then has yellow sleeves. It very well might be a Lannister that threw him. That's interesting.
Yeah,
not just some like random guy. No,
I mean, there shouldn't have been a lot of. There's no random people there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone there is somebody who's at this is the royal wedding, so everyone there is somebody, and it was Atlanta. So I think everyone there came specifically in their colors, and we could talk about this a little bit real quick about how Allison came in there with her little green outfit. How did you like the way it was played out with Allison this whole episode? Phil?
Oh, okay.
I
I thought you were asking Bridge. I thought it worked out. I thought it worked out really well. It was a good swan song for this actress to see the transition that is going to take her into the character without spoiling the next episode that we're going to see in this next episode. And I think a lot of it made a lot of sense. I also just like how they had Michael Buffer sitting in the front, and when every family walked in, here comes the Valerians. Like, I want that job. That's my
amazing job. That is an amazing job. I would love that. Lannisters.
Let's get ready to
showing up. Look at him. Look at all debonair. The Lannisters. What did you think about her, Bridge?
I guess two things. In terms of her Breaking Bad, I thought she did great. Like when she walked in and she called her stepdaughter, and then she looked beautiful walking down the aisle, and she looked badass and confident. And then so in terms of her Breaking Bad, she's good at Breaking Bad. But in terms of why did she break bad, ultimately it came down to Criston telling her that he had slept with Rhaenyra, and it's really hard for me to rationalize. Like, I can understand why, if Rhaenyra was secretly hooking up with Damon, that is a risk to Allison and her family, because Damon is a rogue, right? I just really struggle to find out like if they've been best friends. I know that they've had issues, but they sort of like came back together. Now she finds out that like Rhaenyra hooked up with the really cute Kingsguard. I feel like these girls will be like, oh, really? Oh, like the way why would she be so mad? I just don't get that.
I'm going to say it right quick, but first we're going to announce the Don Tony Teflon. There you go. All right, now I will say this. This is what it's like, all right? That's what I was saying when I seen when the king was getting himself some ass. I was just like that. Viserys. Unfortunately, she wasn't feeling it. So I will say it's just like this. This is the reason why, and I think this is why they showed everything. I think they showed everything specifically for this reason, right? First, you've seen those two girls swooning over this knight, Criston Cole, right? Swooning over him, blah, blah. Then you hear how she said earlier in the episode, oh, it must be so romantic. You got all these guys wanting to marry you, wanting to be with you. So romantic, right? That's how she's got it all mapped out. Everybody was like, it ain't really that good. Because, you know, as I said, it's kind of like a new beach, right? You go to the new beach and you expect to see Kim Kardashian and Betty White shows up, right? That's the way it usually is on new beaches, right? Not what you want it to be.
Young Betty White?
Yeah, you know, young Betty White was great, but we're talking about the older one right now. You know, right. So, but I'm saying when it's all said and done, you've seen her having sex with Viserys, how much she couldn't stand doing it. This king, though he's a king, he's got lesions on his back. He looks like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. His fingers is falling off. He's got 2 toes. He's got 1 knuckle, half an eyebrow, 3 teeth missing. You know, it's disgusting. He must stink. Everything is terrible. And then you see Rhaenyra in this passionate love affair, and she's jealous. And that's what the whole thing is. She is so upset that that's not her. She wishes she could feel that sexiness. That's why there's no doubt in my mind Criston Cole is going to smash those butt cheeks. No doubt in my mind that he's going to do the job on her. It is not a doubt. I guarantee it. And that's not in the books. That's not nothing. That's just me saying it straight up. I guarantee it. 100% he's going to smash some butt cheeks. Because she 100% right now is just jealous that she has to sleep with this disgusting ass old man, and she's getting some dick from somebody that she finds attractive, and that's why it hurts her so bad.
Yeah, I think the way that we're supposed to interpret it, though, is that her father has laid all these seeds of doubt, and that like Rhaenyra will come after you and your children. And at the end of the day, Rhaenyra didn't lie about Criston; she lied about Damon. But technically she didn't lie about Damon. So Allison said, like, did you sleep with him? And she's like, no, I didn't even touch him. So she did add in a little lie about Damon. She didn't even mention Criston, but indirectly not mentioning it, that is sort of a lie. At the end of the day,
she didn't sleep with Damon, though.
Yeah, I know.
But, so she's not lying.
Rhaenyra is a queen right now of the Obi-Wan Kenobi lying. It's the truth from a certain perspective. And I think Allison is, I agree with you, Tony, to a certain extent, jealous of the freedom that Rhaenyra has, but she's also just going, I have to go through all of this. And if I'm going through all of this, my kids, if they're just going to be killed by Rhaenyra and usurped by her, then that's fucked up, and I have to do something about it. And so I think she also did have, as Bridge pointed out, like a Breaking Bad, the turning the hat around. I keep with the Rocky, and now I'm doing over the top, like she like to turn the hat around and charge herself up. It all changed her, woke her up to a certain extent, and probably embittered her to another point too.
It's also, this is a girl who's backed into a corner. She's at this time, I guess she's not 14 anymore. She's probably like 17, but she's still a pretty young woman with the Red Keep all by herself, because now her father's been kicked out. And so she sort of, if she can't trust Rhaenyra, then who can she trust? So she really just had to, like, I don't even want to say break bad. She turned into mother mode. Now it's like, it's her against the world type thing. And
go ahead, Brish.
Yeah, I just I kind of like, I have a soft spot for her and everything she's been through. I just wish things would go differently. And ultimately, it's like her father laid seeds of poison for years and years. Now she believes it.
Let's say the truth.
What's
you
that?
find her attractive, and this is what it is. Don't lie to me. All right.
Not really. Real quick, let me give a shout out to Lena Valarian. I found that girl very attractive.
Oh yeah. No doubt about it.
Savannah,
the older version of Allison is she could get it.
Olivia, yeah, she's beautiful.
Olivia, cool,
yeah,
exactly.
The other two, even though they're the same age as Savannah Stein is a girl who played Lena, but for some reason she looks more mature to me. The other two actresses, like, yeah, they're hot, but they're hot for like kids. No offense to any kids out there, like I wouldn't.
Yeah, they got young girl vibes going on. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? And everything, but I will say that 100%. I just truly believe that there's no proof to what her father is saying to her. So for her just to take why would she believe that Rhaenyra would kill her children?
Yeah.
What has Rhaenyra ever showed her that would make her think that Rhaenyra would kill her? Like, what has she done to say,
not
hey?
Very bright, Tony, and she got manipulated by somebody that got into her head a little bit. I think young Allison isn't the brightest person in King's Landing, and she got manipulated by a combination of her father saying those things he said to her before he jumped out of town, and then the Limpy Strong coming in there and finishing up the job, varicing her with what's that mean, and everything he's been doing with her too. So I think she just got manipulated. She got someone stuck their hand up her butt and turned her into a puppet to a certain extent.
I forgot. There's actually another major factor that we're missing, is that before Otto left, he said he warned her that Viserys is going to die. It might be months, it might be years. He's not going to live a long life. And then what happened? As soon as he came home, the first thing that happened is he fell over. So basically, she's starting to worry that his death may come soon, and she has to start making moves.
How couldn't she see that though? You see him naked. You see his fingers fall off. You seen half his ass cheek drop off. He lost 2 testicles. I mean, what else do you need to see here to let you know that he's falling apart?
Don't worry.
I don't need him to tell me the king is gonna die. I'm sleeping with him, Daddy. All right, he's on top of me. How the hell did he know? He course you know he's gonna die. That's pretty obvious.
Tony, don't worry about those testicles. We'll just put some leeches on them. They'll be fine. They'll stick.
We don't have to call it Matlock for this motherfucker. All right, we don't need Matlock for this one. We can figure this one out pretty simple right off the bat.
Yeah, don't need no Columbo to figure this out. Oh, we got take 2 of the last message that we got. Here is area code 732 again.
This is take 2 of my message. Sorry for that first one. So my main question for you guys is, what are your thoughts on the relationship between Rhaenys and Corlys? I actually really like it because I think it's probably the only marriage we're going to get with no real issues between them. I think the only thing you can think of is like some small stuff later, but if you're looking at the whole series, in my opinion, they have the strongest marriage, even in the main series. What are your thoughts on that?
Bridge, you want to take that?
Let me just say that, I mean, what he just said is based off of the books, I believe. They do actually have an issue currently. I think it's an issue that they're going to resolve, but right now there's a slight difference. They are a very, very strong couple, but Corlys wants Laenor to be set up with Rhaenyra, right? And he's saying that, like, he's telling her that the reason he wants that is because she should have been queen. She looked at him and she's like, Corlys, like, I've gotten over this. Like, this, I don't need this. And like, look at our life. Like, we're living a good life. You're putting our son in danger. So there is a little divide between the two of like, she's like, it's not worth the risk. Like, what are we doing here? But at the end of the day, they absolutely love each other. They are probably the strongest couple, at least right now. There are some stronger, I don't want to say who, but there are strong couples much further out in the story. But yeah, this is a pretty badass couple. I love both of them.
Yeah, I would say that they seem to be strong, and I'm glad that they show a good relationship. They usually do that once. You had Ned Stark and Catelyn, right? That was a strong relationship. You could say Jaime and Cersei was a strong relationship for a while. They had a strong relationship together. They both cared for each other, and for a while it was there.
Maybe not healthy, but strong.
No, but it was strong. They cared about each other. He pushed the kid out a window for her. I mean, I don't know what else you could do to prove that.
He unlocked a boy's powers, is what he did. He did that on purpose. He knew deep side in his mind he was doing a good thing for Bran and unlocking his future. That's what he did.
All right, we'll go with that.
Helping him fly, Tony. Helping him fly.
So I don't want to be hard on Corlys because he is one of the best characters in the story, especially in a story with so many like dumb men in the lead. He's not nearly as bad as them, but he's one of them in the sense that, like I said, he's putting his son in danger. And right now, in his head, he's doing it for the right reasons. He's doing it for like Rhaenys. But I think ultimately he's going to find out that like he's doing it for himself. And but he's the type of guy that can at least realize that at some point. Like I don't think he realizes it yet, but I think he's the kind of guy that's open to learning and growing. So we'll see.
Well, he said when he came on my channel and did the interview with me, shout out to my man Steve Toussaint. When he came and he did the interview with me, he said specifically in the interview, he said that Corlys is mad at him because he believes his wife should have been queen, and he resents him still to this day. And he let that out in that interview. Maybe he shouldn't have said it, but he did. You know what I mean? But he said that right in the interview that's the reason why he still holds that against him. He can't get that past. He can't get past that. He can't get over that.
Now, Everything Network in the live chat has the winner. Ramsay and Theon's relationship is the best relationship in all of Westerosian history. I would agree with that. That he really loved his reek. This is area code 916.
Hello, Tony. Hello, Phil and Bridge. Love the show as always. But I have a question. Larry Strong and his sneaky ass. What do you think he's up to? Do you think he had anything to do with Criston getting away with the beating up or the killing? What are your thoughts? Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the call. Yeah, he's up to some shady stuff, limping around with his limpy Strong over there. He seems like he wants to be a agent of chaos. And I know Bridge and Tony know more about the source material than I do, so I'm talking more about just my first instincts, and then I'll let them tiptoe around the graveyard with this answer. But I think he just seems like he's trying to cause chaos right now for the benefit of his own family. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I'll say real quick, beautiful voice, by the way, and great question.
I was going to say that too.
A great question, but I do want to tiptoe around this answer, like Phil said, because you're going to find out that Larys Clubfoot is one of the most compelling characters in the story. The one way I can answer it, though, in terms of like non-spoilery stuff, is like we were speaking earlier. There's that guy in red, a Lannister, who tossed around Laenor Velaryon. That's the type of thing that, like, could the Clubfoot have been involved in that? Could he have instigated that little fight to happen as well? Something like that. Who knows? Maybe he was involved.
So we got over 508 people here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for your boys up in there so we get more people in there. Thank you. We truly appreciate it. Every week we're getting more and more people growing in here. And we truly appreciate it. We got a super chat from Mona. I see right there. It says, "Hey, Tone, you get." This
looks like Tony wrote this.
Listen, man.
That's Tone's alternate account.
Exactly. This is Mona, Tony's alt account.
Listen, man. All right.
Hi, Tony. You're amazing. Bridge and Phil, you guys are cool too.
Listen. We're gonna take this one right here. All right.
Staying on the screen for a while.
All right. We're gonna say this. Hey, Tone, you're getting sexier. Just wanted sexier. I mean, I'm already sexy, but sexier. Sexier than I was. You see that, Bridge? I know you be flexing like that in the mirror, Bridge. I know you've done that pose before, Bridge. All right, you're getting sexier. Just wanted to show my favorite some love. Hope you are well. Hi, Bridge and Phil.
Oh, hi, Bridge and Phil. Hi.
Thank you so much. Mona has been rocking with me for, I would say, since I started this channel. she's been on rocking with me. So, I truly appreciate Mona. I'm glad to see. I haven't seen her in a little while, and everything else. So, thank you so much. It makes me feel very, very good. We work hard at this, trying to maintain, trying to get a little higher out there. Yeah. Y'all want to say that? You can't say it, but we'll leave that. Mona C donate $10 on the screen.
Alana said it right. Bridge and Phil have officially been friend zoned with that. Tony, we got a couple more a couple more voicemails and a few texts. This one is from our good friend Cece.
Hi, friends. Hey, good looking. I just wanted to talk about Allison descent into her own power and madness. That girl wore a showstopper dress to someone else's wedding. You did not do that. It's a no-no. Girl, no-no. You did her dad, and now you wear that dress? No. But I found that it was very interesting that it was the beginning of her life in fear, as, Otto left the seed in there, and also the power that she gained by making that entry and sparing Christy, his life in service, but she did it anyway. And the consequences that is going to bring for everybody, both her power and her fear. So, ladies out there, do not wear that dress to the wedding. Not cool.
Great message.
Yeah, I agree.
Was Mrs. Duncan the Tall?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Duncan the Tall.
I talked to her almost every day. I couldn't understand half of that message, though. It was coming through like choppy. The who in the dress was she saying? Allison?
Allison. That she wore a showstopper dress. She wore a better dress than the bride. You're not allowed to do that.
Oh, okay. Oh, I never even thought about that.
And you're not allowed to do it. That is true. Now, that just shows that she's not no bridezilla. She took it on the chin and was like, all right, you want to come in here walking like that. And she had to come in all late and shit. You know what I mean? She had to come in all late. And we're talking about the club foot. I didn't get a chance to he's the one who noticed it, right? He is the one specifically who he had to say, did you know what color the fire burns on the high flower when they go to war? And the other story goes, green?
Let me guess. Green? I like Harwin. Harwin's my dude. I would hang with him.
Let me see. This is a hard one. Green. I like that.
Yeah, he's cool.
He wanted him to say, no, I don't. Green. He wanted to say that. He was waiting for him to say, no, what color do they wear? Green. He was waiting for that green. He was waiting to say
They were like the two guys in the Muppets. They were just like, oh, she's wearing green. Can you believe it? We've got a couple more voicemails as well.
Let me. So I'm gonna. Eleanor says have trouble. Let me see. You could do that. I'm gonna send him another link.
Okay.
And
this is area code. Oh, sorry.
Can I just play devil's advocate pretty quickly?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fashionista, but was her dress better than Rhaenyra's? I don't know. I mean, Mrs. Duncan the Tall has a better opinion than me. To me, I'm looking at Rhaenyra's, and it's like there's more. I don't know. It's like more ornate or whatever. It's like her arms are showing. There's like a thing coming across here. There's something coming across the waist, and it's a white dress. I'll say this though about Allison's is that the show is always so dark, right? And when I did my video, I started changing the saturation and the brightness and the contrast. And I saw like Allison's had like a split down here, and then you see like a little bit of like boobie, a little bit. I was like, oh, that dress is nicer than I thought. In the dark, it didn't look as good.
I also, as they were saying with the exposition that we got in the scene, there's also the green, meaning the declaration of what the green means to her house, and all of that was a oh shit kind of moment that was happening.
Still, you have a whole family wearing green. Rhaenyra is the only one wearing a white dress. I feel like it's a pretty badass dress.
It is.
I missed it, but I seen Fernandez T.
Yeah, he gave a $20 super sticker.
Thank you so much, Fernandez T. I appreciate that.
And here's area code 717.
Hey, what's up, everybody? First of all, y'all gotta hold off on my boy Tony, man. That's messed up. Y'all threw some shade at him right there. You know that wasn't his alter kennel. I don't know. I don't think Clubfoot.
I feel like there's some possible spoilers within the rest of this comment.
All right, so we can't say that. But I do appreciate him having my back.
That's why I wanted to play the first half of that message.
We appreciate it, but we won't play spoilers, but I do appreciate you having it back. We gotta keep everything else going and everything else. I think I will say this, that when the new actors, I am sad to see these old actors go.
Yeah.
I really am. I think they did a tremendous job, but I am 100% sure, and I can tell you guys 100% that you are going to be very, very pleased with these new actresses and actors when they come up in there. I 100%. You know what I mean? I think you're going to you ain't gonna miss nobody. you ain't gonna miss nobody. I think you'll be all right when it's all said and done and everything. So no high towers use wildfire. Do they use wildfire to keep that burning?
I don't recall the fire being green at all in the books. I could be mistaken. I think that's a show only thing. And as soon as they said green fire, I thought about that. I'm like, are they using wildfire for their signal?
Oh, that'd be cool.
They would have. I mean, wildfire it's not like it has been invented back then, right?
Yeah,
they didn't have it, right? I mean, the reason why the Targaryens started using wildfire, mainly the Mad King, was we got him, is because there was no more dragons, right? All right, so we got a next person joining, the one, the only, LML is in the building. Wait, LML, you can't say anything.
LML is in the building.
I think I'm here. I don't know why I'm so huge. Let me back up a little bit.
You were born that way. You can't help it, man.
But I'm here. Oh, it's applause.
Oh my God!
Thank you, Bridge.
This program's great.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for joining. We can move you around. We could. You like that the way you want me to change the layout for you? We could change it for you if you want.
Look at that.
We can move it around a little bit.
Now
I see you have godlike power now, Tony, and you're exploring it. I can see.
Yeah. Maybe we can move it all around.
Well, I wore a little something special for you. All
right, let's get back to where we were.
Little NYC love.
There you go. That is what's up. Much love for the Wu-Tang Clan, Shaolin Island. You know what I mean, and everything else, and all that good stuff. But yeah, LOL, thank you for coming. People have been asking for you to come 2-3 weeks. They keep saying, and I appreciate it. I know you're a very busy man. You do a lot. I mean, you do 3-4 live streams a week, plus videos and everything. How you have time to do it all, I have no idea, but you do. You make it work. So I know you're very busy. So thank you for coming. We truly appreciate it.
Of course, man. Yeah, you asked me to come on. I'm coming on. So the first thing I will contribute to our conversation is that the issue of the fight starting is something that I was very interested in, right? And I was originally thinking maybe I'd make a video with a map of where everyone is and all that stuff. But what I can say is that the way they cut it makes it look like the fight starts right around Damon and Rhaenyra. And so that's what I was thinking at first. I was like, oh, well, obviously Joffrey or Criston interfered with that kiss, and then they saw each other and fought, whatever. But on the replay, you can see the fight starting on one part of the crowd. It's like over on this side. And then you see the little white head of Damon streaking across the crowd. It looks like he's walking over to the fight. He might be peeling off towards the exit. But the point is that he's at least 15 feet away from where the fight starts. So that doesn't mean that it wasn't still the cause. Like maybe Joffrey saw them from across the room and moved to go there and bumped into Criston or something like that. But it wasn't that one of them put their hands on Damon. That definitely is not the case because they were too far away from each other.
All right. So we have a no Damon. Bridge is still thinking Damon had something to do with it. He ain't gonna convince Bridge.
No, it's not Damon. I think it's Joffrey is the one who instigated it. Yeah,
Joffrey's the one who starts.
The moral of my thesis is that Criston did his job as opposed to just killing someone for the sake of killing.
Well, see, I think that theory rests on the idea that Joffrey would have put his hand on one of the royals, and I'm saying Joffrey was definitely not close enough to do that. So that was not. It wasn't that Joffrey touched Damon or Rhaenyra. That is ruled out. It's not. It didn't happen.
So you would think that Bridges' point would be that maybe Damon was like, all right, Rhaenyra, I'm going to take you out of here. Joffrey seeing that, him about to take him out of him, overreacted, said, hey, what are you doing? And then that came up, and then the fight.
Yeah, I'm just saying they weren't close enough to have had physical contact. That's all I'm saying. Obviously, that happened at the same moment, so there's a good chance that Joffrey saw that, and made to go over there or something like that. You know, that's very likely. But I'm just
He's
saying they
about to
couldn't
put
have
his
touched.
tongue in her mouth. I mean, I put my tongue in many women's mouth, and I know that look before you do it. And he had that look on his face, like he's gonna stick his tongue in the mouth and just carry away. And the king knew it too, because the king
So the
like
last frame, Rhaenyra's actually closing her eyes, and Damon's like an inch away from her lips before they're obscured. So they're definitely. We should assume that they kissed, I would think.
Let me just give a shout out to Damon. The way he interacts when he's passionate or whatever, like it took me 15 years to realize that that's how you're supposed to play the game. You know what I mean? Like he's actually doing what, like, God, for years I was missing out with like uncomfortable and stuff. Like he goes for it. You know, he's very
you just
alpha.
have to target your nieces. You know, that was where you were missing it, bro.
Maybe that'll get you more into it if you go after your nieces. Give it a shot with it.
You have to kill your wife. You have to kill your wife and then go after your nieces.
Let's talk about. We didn't talk about that, so let's talk about it. So I know a lot. Listen, I know there are a lot of Damon fans in the chat and on the panel as we speak. But how can we cheer for a man that was willing to bash his wife's head in with a rock? I mean, how could you cheer for someone who was willing, instead of getting out of the marriage, he said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bash your head in with a rock. And listen, I know he was talking about the sheeps looking better than the women. That woman looked fine to me. I mean, I would have been happy to have been with. I don't know what he was thinking, why he was disappointed with that chick.
Yeah, she was.
I would have been cool to be with her. Or I don't know what type of sheep he's been seeing, but he must have seen some extra sexy sheep.
No, that's Tony. Damon is a bit. He shows some narcissistic tendencies, let's say. And when someone like that is rejected, they automatically have to put down and diminish the person who's rejected them to soothe their own ego. So that's all that is.
So you think that she was like, listen, I don't want you. And because she didn't want him, this is why he said what he said.
Well, it's possible that they tried to consummate their marriage and Damon couldn't. I mean, elsewise, how's Rhea pulling that insult right out of her pocket, like her front pocket, ready to go? Either that rumor's going around or he actually couldn't consummate their marriage, one or the other.
He seemed like because he seems like he's willing to fuck anybody. I mean, I don't know what he was in a whorehouse. He's willing to fuck this. You would think he'd be willing to fuck this chick.
Yeah, there seems to be a power dynamic with Damon. He wants to dominate and stuff, and you can see that's not a woman who wanted to be dominated. I don't think
he wants to fuck with people more than he wants to fuck people. And I think all jokes aside, I think what turns him on is not normal, conventional things that turn people on. So it's not necessarily that he can't get it up. It's that only really crazy. He's akin to someone that watches the craziest porn, and only the craziest stuff can turn him on, I think.
Filled with the deep psychology here.
Exactly. It's so I think Damon has the Westerosian porn addiction or something like that, to the effect of it needs to be dangerous for him. So I think he couldn't consummate a marriage with a good woman. He couldn't do that.
Yeah, someone in the chat just said it. Do you think, I'll put it in a better way than this person put it in the chat, but I got what you were trying to say. Do you think she was not feminine enough for him? That the fact that she was out there and she wanted to go hunting and she wanted to shoot a bow, do you think that made him not want to be with her? That's what they were saying in chat. Do you think that maybe he likes a girlier girl and not a hunter who wants to go out there and ride horseback?
We don't know if the Nettles thing was a romantic thing, but Nettles is like straight barbarian. I tend to think that would not be it myself, but who knows? Straight
barbarian. Yo, you're talking about my favorite girl in the story, bro.
Oh, she's great.
Let me pull that chat off.
No, but I hear you. Like she wasn't a girly girl. Let's say that.
No, she slaughters the rams and sheep herself, gets blood all over herself, and feeds it to her dragon, and then just hops on. I mean, that's pretty gangster.
We could say this because when we seen her Rhaenyra, when she had the blood on her, all the High Lords were like ill, except for the one Mr. Strong who got turned on by it. Right? Yeah. So some people, most of the High Lords was like, I don't want no bloody chick out there hunting. I don't like that. So Damon could be one of these people who feel that way. Like, hey, I don't want no bloody chick on me. I don't get down like that. I'd rather have somebody, someone a little bit more feminine acting.
I think Damon's pretty carnal. So I have to think it was more about think about what they showed us about Rhea. They showed us that she has.
No, you're muted.
No, I can hear him.
You can hear him?
Yeah, I heard him.
Am I?
I
don't
didn't
think
hear him.
I'm
You hear
muted.
him, Phil?
I still hear him.
I still
Why
hear
don't
you.
I
Huh?
hear him?
Okay, all right. I was
He's
just saying,
doing blood magic.
if you think
I
about
don't know.
what they showed us about,
I don't know. This thing's. Who knows? I can't hear him. As long as you guys can hear him, then we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right, you guys you listen to. Wait,
Actually, can people in the chat hear him? They say they hear him as well.
So, anyways,
What?
Tony's orange shirt is the most hideous thing I've ever seen.
I hear
wear
all
on a live
y'all,
stream. It's
but I don't hear him.
god-awful. Who is the who plays polo anymore? Anyways,
He's,
I don't
he's
even
not
know.
saying anything bad about you. Don't worry.
All right.
Damon does.
That was good, Alvo.
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Oh, you
Oh,
can hear him
now
now. that
I
he's
can't
muted?
hear him.
Yeah, you can hear him when he's muted. That's weird. That's so weird. Because
I don't. Yeah, my thing muted and then unmuted itself. I didn't touch it.
All right. Again, this is a new program trying to figure it out. I was trying to pull the chat off you, and I think when I was
Can you
going
hear
to
me
pull
now, Tony?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
okay, cool. Yeah, I was just saying how I think your shirt looks sharp, and
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
so yeah. Anyways, what I was saying also was that they only gave us a little bit about Rhea, right? So let's consider what they showed us. She's tough. She's unyielding. She's independent. She's unafraid. She's throwing insults at a dragon lord. She's brushing off assistants on her ride. So that's when you don't know much about a character, you have to go on what they tell you. And they told us, like, everything they told us about her was of a piece. She's very fierce and independent. So whatever the disagreement was between her and Damon, once he was on her bad side, like, forget about it. So, that's I think the way we can say it.
I agree. I think there's some issue with them. Again, let's go through the end of it. And the question is, how can we cheer for a person who we just seen murdered his wife? How could you justify liking this person who murdered his wife and not this murder in a horrendous way by bashing her skull in with a rock? How can we cheer for someone or be on that person's side? Is it possible to stay a root for this man after he did that?
My answer, I asked the same question to some of my friends offline, and my answer is no. That this is a disgusting, disturbed individual. With that said, he is my favorite male Targaryen character in the story. He's a very compelling character, but no,
Right.
this is a crazy man.
We're adults and we understand that liking a character isn't the same as approving of what they do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Playing
Cersei's
Knights
a
of the Old
great character,
Republic-
but
Yeah, playing Knights of the Old Republic on the evil side and murdering everybody in a video game is fine. Appreciating a fictional character that's evil. And I think you could say that almost about most of the people in this series. This isn't a series with a lot of straight up heroes. And the Targaryens in this Targaryen line. So he fits in with other Targaryen males. He's better than Maegor. I'll say that. I mean, he's better than
Pretty
than
low
the other
bar there,
Viserys.
Phil.
He's better than Viserys, you know.
I mean, the bar is pretty low.
I'm a fan of his, but like most of the people that we're going to see on this series are dark, multifaceted characters. And David's right that we're adults and it's okay to like fictional bad guys that
all right, yes, all right. So if you say do you cheer for Jason when you see him killing Friday the 13th? Yes,
in
right?
some of the movies, yes.
But you still know Jason's the bad guy in the movie, right? So I think we have to. It doesn't make Allison's point valid. That listen, if that Rhaenyra may kill her sons. Look at this guy. Look who she's influenced by. He could influence her to kill her children. Does that make Allison justified in her actions of wanting to steal the Iron Throne from her used-to-be friend?
Well, are we talking about the 5 episodes we've seen so far or Fire and Blood? Because so far, Allison hasn't done anything to try to steal the throne.
Well, we see her when she put the green on. I think it was implied that she was going for it.
Like that she sees Rhaenyra as a potential rival. Yeah, for sure.
Like she's gonna go for it. And the reason that we know is that her father said that she's going to kill your sons. So now
I agree with what I was listening earlier. I agree with what you said. Otto is very much manipulating Allison and he's doing the same thing he did with Damon and Viserys. He's driving a wedge between people. And that's what I was saying about this whole story is before we get into zeroing in on what Allison and Rhaenyra did to degrade their friendship or erode their friendship, we have to recognize that the whole system is pulling these girls apart. Otto is pouring poison in Allison's ear. Damon is telling Rhaenyra just like fuck responsibility, do whatever the hell you want, which is an awful philosophy for someone who wants to be a monarch. So all the political realities are pulling the girls apart. I see that as tragic first. And chief among that is that conversation between Otto and Alicent, where Otto is really driving a wedge and he's planting seeds into Alicent's mind. And even if Alicent doesn't fully latch on to what he's saying yet, the fact that she feels deceived by Rhaenyra. Oh, I stuck up for her and she wasn't telling me the truth and I can't trust her now. And she might sleep with Criston or Damon or anyone. And so, yeah, you can see the falling out happening in this episode for sure. And Otto is definitely like, he's got a point because in a sense, he's saying the same thing that Rhaenys is saying. Many lords won't accept Rhaenyra. If Rhaenyra succeeds, the knives will come out. There will be war. They're both saying that. But Otto, first of all, is very hypocritical because he's the first one pulling his knife out. So it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? But then Otto's also twisting all of that. Like he has a point, but he's twisting it to make Alicent think that Rhaenyra is a monster. When, like you said, she isn't. There's no evidence that Rhaenyra would kill children. Now, Damon, maybe so. But Damon and Rhaenyra at this point in the story are separate entities. So, you know.
Can I throw out a quick one-liner from a different series I read? It's like, what's the most important step a man can take? The next step, always the next step. So it's like, even though, like I said, Damon he's a psycho. At the same time, these characters all make both good and bad decisions. So like I'm always looking forward to them to making like the good decisions when they do things selflessly, when they do things for others. And even some of the worst characters do things for the right reasons throughout this story.
Yeah,
Thank you. Real
quick, Tony. I think George has talked about heroism as a transient quality, not something you stamp onto a person. Like people can be heroic and villainous in different moments. That's the meaning of gray character. Nobody's permanently angelic, you know. So
yeah,
I agree. I just wanted to give a shout out to Lynn for subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You know, I've seen a lot of people in here. Maybe y'all new here talking about the Don's thug mug and stuff like that, right? Like. Maybe you're admiring the thug mug. Maybe you like the thug mug. So let's do something right now because the Don Tony Teflon likes to give back to the people. We're going to be on right now for about, 27 more minutes, right? Because we ended. If 27 people subscribe to this channel, we'll start counting them right now. I will give away a thug mug to one of y'all in the chat today because that's the type of man I am right now, right? So, and it costs more than 27 now. So. I'll tell you that. But 27 people right now. We see it pop up here 27 times. Phil, can you keep count? Is
I will absolutely keep count. Tony.
And we'll keep Lynn as one. So that's one. So 26 more people subscribe to this channel right now. We'll have a trivia question. David will ask the trivia question. We'll put him on the spot. And then one of y'all answer it and we'll give you a thug mug.
Whenever you're ready, we do have a few more voicemails.
Let's go to the voicemail.
Okay. This is from LML. No, this is from area code 404.
What's up, y'all? It's Marcus calling from Atlanta. So glad to be here with Tony, Bridgeford, and Phil. Great to see all of you, and hello to everyone in the chat. I just got to say something about this whole Criston situation is he needs to understand that just because you are the sworn shield and all these different things does not mean Rhaenyra has to want to be with you. Because if we remember, and it reminded me a lot of the Arya and Gendry situation in Game of Thrones, where, you know, Arya and Gendry slept together, and then Gendry, you know, proposed to Arya, and she was like, no, I'm meant to, you know, explore the world and do all of these things. It reminded me of that scene too. But, you know, the difference here is Gendry said, okay, and then he just moved on, became the Lord of Storms, and just did his thing. You know, I don't understand why Criston can't do,
because Gendry's not fucking crazy.
Do the same thing, you know, like this whole situation with him fighting at the wedding. I was like, this is reckless, this is trash, and I wasn't here for it. So I don't like Criston Cole. I respect what he's going through, but at the same time, I'm just not here for it. But I'm excited to see what happens in this episode tonight, and can't wait to hear y'all's opinions about it tomorrow on Direwolf City. Bye bye.
And we will be on Direwolf City. The usual suspects will be on our sister podcast tomorrow night. The Don Tony Teflon. Bridge 4, Fill the Issues Guy, Direwolf City. See us there. Make sure you're there. All right. We're getting people on subscribe. Are you keeping track of the people? Subscribe. You can see it?
I believe I can't see it, but I'm counting the dings. I think we're up to 7.
All right, 7. I can see 7 people so far. 7 people almost there and everything.
That's really cool. I didn't know you could gift subs. Fernandez T just gifted 20 subs. That's awesome.
Yes, you can gift subs memberships to people.
Yeah,
So
membership.
if anyone, if anyone wants to be a member, please be a member. And if you're already a member and you want to give away some members, help other people become members. You can do that too. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So that's the way we go. And
Lim said way more than 7, so I can't see them. I'm going by the dingies. So let me count it in the live chat. I think because we got the 20 gifted ones. So then we're way over because Fernandez gifted 20. So you're done.
We're done. All right, then we're done. Then we will make sure that at the end of the stream, LML, if you could please think in your head a question to ask the chat. How we're gonna do is LML will ask a question. When he does ask the question, right after he does, I will put my name. I'll put Teflon in the chat. Any answer that comes after Teflon counts. Anything before does not count. All right, and we're gonna go by our chat because I know everyone's chat is different. So we're gonna go by our chat.
Give me just like a couple minutes, and I'll whip up a good trivia question.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Right before we end, we'll do it.
Okay.
So we got like 20 or so minutes or something like that.
LML is if I had a voicemail from you, is it relevant to the conversation to play right now?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Phil.
That's what I was wondering. So here we go.
Hello there. This is Nancy Vagar, and I just have a question.
All of you that thought that David was Vagar, now they're not in the same place.
Yeah, this is like the Humpty Hump situation going on here. Who is Humpty? Is it Shah G or is there really a Humpty?
Yeah, they're not never in the same place at the same time. Here we go. Right now.
Hello there. This is Nancy Vagar, and I just have a question for the Mr. Lightbringer gentleman. We have an old legend about a second moon, and dragons came from the moon, but I just think that's a load of hooey. Every fool knows that dragons are a mythological description of a comet. So I have a little bit of a theory about some meteors and comets, and well, I think that's what that myth is talking about, Mr. Lightbringer. Your thoughts? Thank you.
Listen, first off, Manny Vega, we gotta show you some love. Every week, we know your ass is 800 years old, but you get up, you make us meatloaf sandwiches and bologna. You come here and you show us some love every week. We truly appreciate you, Vega. We know you, all right?
Well,
we truly
look,
appreciate it.
After The Price is Right is over and Matlock, there's really not a whole lot to do out there, but just call up to, call-in shows. So, I mean.
So my grandmother used to watch the goddamn In the Heat of the Night, boy.
Murder She Wrote for mine. Murder She Wrote.
Every time I go in that damn house, in the heat of the night. God damn, I hate this show.
Well, I do watch a little Antique Road show now and again. That was my Vagar impression, just by the way.
That was a damn good one.
That's good. Yeah. So I've been working on it. Yeah. Oh, I was having a trivia question. No, I'm sorry. We'll wait for that. Nanny Vagar's question. So, Nanny Vagar, you're definitely onto something there. That's pretty good mythology. Dragons have been used as ways to talk about comets and meteors in ancient mythology in all different cultures around the world. So when you have a legend about something happening to a moon, I believe it wandered too close to the sun and it cracked. Hard to understand what that means, but if a moon cracked somehow, then things that fell out of it would be flaming pieces of moon, or what you might call moon meteors. And so that could be the meaning of that myth. I agree. I think Vagar's got a good point.
I hear you. I know that you are 100%. I do not disagree with the moon media theory. I think that it has a lot of substance to it, and I think that I could definitely see that going down. It makes the most sense of a lot of these theories that I hear. And
the moon meteors, they do go down, and they have a lot of substance. They're very heavy.
Yes, they are, and we know that, and the gravity goes from there and everything. And that's right? We have the Grand Canyon for proof. We have the Grand Canyon for proof of that in real life and stuff. But I like that theory a lot, and I do believe it. And Matt Creech wants to know where's his meatloaf. You have to ask. She make it for us. So I don't know where your meatloaf is.
Maybe you can be added like the Santa Claus will add one of the stops along the way. Tony, we have a message.
Real quick, related to that though. So you have things called magic amplifiers, right? Like Danny in the show, Danny was a magic amplifier for the dragons in Karth. then it's like dragons are magic amplifiers for the people in the books, like Bonero. He's able to do more fire magic, right? There's actually also the people who made the pyromancers. They were able to make wildfire a lot faster nowadays. So it's like we know that fire magic amplifiers are real. So what if like a comet, like a long cycle comet or a short cycle comet, like a comet that comes around every 300 years or every 1,000 years could be like a magic amplifier for dragons, something like that.
Yeah, I tend to think of it almost like gravity, so that everything that's magical has magic gravity, and the bigger something is, like the more gravity it has. So the wall, the comet, the moon, Danny, that's the only thing that makes sense of saying that all these different things sort of amplify the magic. But I agree, Bridge, that is exactly what it seems to be. So there's not one source of magic, but just lots of things are magical, and they sort of make each other stronger. That's why Melisandre, using fire magic, takes a whiff of the wall, and she's like, oh, yes, I can make some shadow babies here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she says all the time that people ask her, like, basically, she's like, she has these little potions and stuff because probably people always want to test her. Oh, you know magic, show me some magic. So she has tricks that she does just for those naysayers because
illusions.
Yeah. Just so, oh yeah, here's some magic for you. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, you're a comedian, make me laugh. Like, probably say stuff like that. But she said at the wall, she doesn't have any need for those stuff. She feels she could do everything right from the wall. Now, me, I'm going to say I do think it's one central source of magic that just gets displayed to people different ways and stuff. I don't think that there's...
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
Like ice magic and fire. I think it's just all one blood magic and it all just comes through the whole thing. That's what I look at.
Yeah. I do agree with that.
Here's a question from Antoine Thomas, pretty much just for Tony, but or he wants to hear Tony's perspective on this specifically.
He's very smart.
Hey, Phil, Teflon. I want to know that, now, you know how I feel about this show, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm not going to be happy when Rhaenyra.
Okay, sorry, Antoine. There's a little spoiler there. He wants to know how Tony would feel about the future of the series. Will we get the Blackfire Rebellion? And that's his favorite stuff, and he's hoping we get that. I cut off your message because you said a spoiler right there in the middle, so I didn't want to put it out there.
Thank you again for the card. So, will we get? I think if they're doing an anthology series like House of the Dragon is going to be, let's say, 4 seasons of this. And then they switch to 4 seasons or something else. Blackfire Rebellion, I think, would be more of a dunk and egg thing, right? If they do the dunk and egg thing, they would push that towards that, I would think, more than anything else. But I could see them. I think this anthology series, if it's that, we're not sure if that's going to be. But if it is, I think it ends with Robert's Rebellion would be the last one that they do. They would end it on that. I think they go back in time before they go forward in time in this. They seem to like to go back. So I think they go back, maybe Aegon the Conqueror, then maybe a little bit forward. That's what do you think, Alan?
So I have thoughts about this. So it made sense to do House of the Dragon after Game of Thrones because it's like more dragons, more politics and more dragons. And it seems to be working. I am curious to see how the show will fare once it transitions out of this time-skipping prologue season and into the war proper, where we're moving in real time. Mm-hmm. Can they maintain the very high drama and character stuff we have now as we get into actual war? I think they will. But if the show succeeds, is the point, I think you could see the Blackfire Rebellion coming down the pipe as a logical thing that's kind of similar but kind of different. So the dragons are gone now, but I think these are the best characters in all of the history, like Bloodraven, Bittersteel, Shara Seastar, the Old King, Aegon the Unworthy, all the different forces that are trying to use Damon because they have a grudge against the Dornish, all the Blackwoods that are involved. I mean, it's similar to Dance, but I think the characters are better, but without dragons. And the characters in the Dance are great. Don't get me wrong. I love the show, obviously, and we've got a lot of great characters, but just think about it. Bloodraven, Bittersteel, all those guys. I mean, wow. Yeah. So I do think they'll get to it eventually if these shows keep being successful. I think Aegon's Conquest is a movie or like one season of like 6 hour-and-a-half episodes or something. I don't think there's a whole long-running show there. And
I think so. It depends how you break it up. It would be. how, obviously if they can take these couple of chapters and make a series out of it, then we would have to say that they'd be able to do that with Aegon's conquest.
My point was just that it kind of peters out after a couple years of the conquest, and it just sort of straggles until 9 AC when Rhaenys dies, and then nothing happens until Aegon dies 30 years later, so it's just like, I don't know. Really, it's just the conquest that you want to do, and he's coronated, and that's about it, I think. So
it would be the conquest itself. I don't even know if you would show Rhaenys' death, go that far, and then call it a conquest, and it's over.
And to Gray Area's point, like ultimately, we want to get back to Valyria. That's the most ambitious thing that they could try to tackle.
So do you do that first? You say, hey, we start in Valyria the first season to Dragonstone. Second season, Aegon growing up, his dad passes away, and then go into the conquest third, fourth season.
Yes, you could do that. That would be workable. Because we've already used to the time skips. You'd have to recast, obviously, for Aegon of Visenya and Rhaenys, but you could do that as the end of a Doom, Aenar, Dany's thing. Yes, you could.
Hashtag Rhaenys didn't die, even though I know she did, but hashtag Rhaenys didn't die anyway.
Well, something funny happened there, Bridge.
She's living with Bridge right now. She's a new Drew, chilling out there. But my friend Michael is the mayor. He ain't familiar no more. Goddamn it.
Well, Bridge is the voice. He's the voice from beyond right now, so that's how he knows who's dead and who's not.
It sounded like coming from like a hallway or something. We've got a handful of text messages. I just want to zip out really quick. If they open next episode with a time jump, it's going to kill it for me. We don't see backstory on the first two kids. We don't see the changing of the personal shields for the queens and the princess, or the explanation of how Crispy killed the kisser, or no recourse. Area code 717. All I'll say is wait to see it. Come back here next week and tell us how you see it when you see it on screen. I think there's so much. David was hinting at this too. With the time skips, this show's identity has become some of the time skips and show you from dramatic moment to dramatic moment. So I do think, having seen it without spoilers, it does work. But you're going to need to trust me on that, because I don't want to embellish further down that road. But come back next week, and if you didn't enjoy it, please call back in and let us know. We'd love to hear.
Or just wait until the episode is over.
And jump on your
issue guy. He has a post-game show. My man LML, he has a post-game show. We want you to bar hop back and forth to both of their shows and give your information on that. If you didn't like it, tell us exactly. Let them know exactly why. They'll be there for you when the show is over, so it's nice and fresh in your brain. And come back next week, and I'll be here, and we'll be back here. We can talk about it. Then after it's sunk in a little bit, maybe you had a chance to watch it a couple of times. Maybe you feel a little bit different, But we'll be here every weekend. Gray Area, as you'll see, we're on Direwolf City tomorrow night. 8:30 p.m. on Direwolf City. We'll be on there. You can give your thoughts there, too. You have Gray Area and the rest of those beautiful ladies. That's our sister podcast, and we'll be up on there.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to get to this text message right away so we don't miss it tonight. Hello, everyone. This is Shayna from Louisiana. I just wanted to say thanks for the live stream. It's keeping me in a positive mood here in the hospital tonight. Also, would love a stream for the book readers, a spoiler one in the future. Take care. Lots of love from us all on the panel to you in the hospital. Glad to distract you even for a second from whatever you're going through there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I hope everything is working out for you, and I hope that you're all right. Get the chance to be around the people that you love, and just to take your time and what you're going through to hang out and then talk to us is a blessing, and we truly appreciate that we're able to distract you from that from a little bit and everything. I know that Bridge 4 has planned. He does streams for spoiler stuff. Maybe we'll come back on here later on this week. We fill Bridge, maybe we talk him into it and then do a spoiler stream, and we can just chop it up and everything that's going to happen and everything else. But we'll see if we can do that. We get that thing popping.
Area code 516, real quick. We just need more Starks in our lives. And we've got two last voicemails here to get to. Let's
come before we get to it. We got a couple of minutes, but I want to talk about the Starks real quick. How much Stark are we? I don't think we get a lot of it. Because I don't think that it ends. I mean, me and Gray Area had this discussion. We talked about this a little bit. We didn't go into details, but I don't think it ends too far after the main people have played their part. I don't know if it goes beyond that. She says that she thinks it is. It has to go into the Hour of the Wolf. I'm not sure. What do you think? I don't know.
So I think that the Hour of the Wolf is extremely important in a narrative sense because it is catharsis that is going to be very much needed. We're going to see there's so many people that have double crossed so many people, and there's almost no heroes. A lot of people have died, and the Hour of the Wolf is one of the things that makes it feel like this thing has been restabilized and that some sense of justice and law has been restored. And the fact that it's the main Stark thing, or one of two main Stark things in the war, I just think they have to do it. So yeah, and I think that the happy ending will be to see the king that comes out, the monarch that comes out of the end of all this on the throne, so we the thing is secure. And then the other thing is that to the other question, I think that after the season's over, you'll have a lot of spoilers streams where we compare how they adapted the first season from the books to the show and stuff like that. So for that other person that wants that analysis, it's coming.
So,
go ahead, Bridge.
So I think in terms of the Hour of the Wolf, without getting into like what happens in it, I think ultimately it comes down to like right now, I think they have a 4-year plan, right, for the Dance of the Dragons. So it's like if they plan on continuing to go all the way to the Lycene, I like saying Lycene Spring, the Lycene Spring. If they plan on extending the show all the way to that, I think the Hour of the Wolf will make for a great season. Otherwise, I think like what my expectation is that they're not going to just continue all the way up to the Lycene Spring. So I think the Hour of the Wolf is going to be like the hour of the 20-minute epilogue to the final episode of the show.
Yeah, and a good point by Tolkis. It's the exclamation point for some of the character arcs.
The problem though is that it's boring. It's pretty boring. So that's why I'm saying like it could be a good epilogue to an episode.
I just don't think when we look at, we're trying not doing any spoilers here, so we try not to do that. When we look at the people involved in it, I don't know if they're going to do that with those people involved in it. And that's what makes me think they're not going to do it, because of the people that are involved in it. I don't think that they're going to be gripping, that people are going to be willing to watch that. So that, I don't know. They have skipped a lot of stuff, not skipped a lot of stuff, but they do a lot of jumps. So it's quite possible that they could. We shall see if they do that.
Tony, the other thing, just real quick, and I know Gray agrees with me on this. Yeah, I don't think it's boring either. And if you look at Fire and Blood, there's a lot of stuff in Fire and Blood that is pretty dry, let's say. And the House of the Dragon has shown an amazing ability to think hard about what story would be there in between the lines and to bring that to us. So I think the Hour of the Wolf will be plenty entertaining if they do it. But the Pact of Ice and Fire, and I'm not going to spoil anything, there is a thing called the Pact of Ice and Fire in the story. It's very important already. But given the Aegon's prophecy reveal, I think that will have something to do with that pact. And so I think seeing the Starks at the end of the show will be a way to return to that plot line and remind you that that's important and that this knowledge is still alive somewhere and that it will come in the future. It points towards Jon and Dany a little bit. So I think the Pact of Ice and Fire, the Hour of the Wolf, and Aegon's Dream work together as a cohesive narrative that brings the Stark's importance more up in the story and points towards the greater world outside of this war. So
that's what's up. Listen, I you make a very strong case. As always, it's very hard to argue against you, Mel, but we shall see in the end if they do it. I agree that it's important. I just don't know with the people involved, will they be? We'll have to do a spoiler.
You see what I'm saying, though, about the pact and all that, and the right. Okay, yeah.
Tony,
I agree with what you're saying.
Tony, before we run out of time, we should do the trivia question for the giveaway.
Real quick with the pact, though, it's like if they found out about it, when did that get lost up in the north?
Well, that's a whole. I've got a video I was writing about.
At some point, it would have to have gotten lost, right? Or do you think it's still like someone like Ned Stark? Did he know about it?
I think that it might have been around up until like the Tower of Joy, and that Ned may be the one who didn't find out about it. Okay. Potentially.
That would be why. That would be so sad if that's it got all the way up to there and that's when it was lost.
Or I think that it could be something that Lyanna told Ned, and he was, skeptical. Like he understood that Lyanna and Rhaegar were running around doing prophecy stuff and it got Lyanna killed. So he's like, yeah, I don't really care what y'all were trying to read in the stars and all that. But then later, when Jon is born and the walkers return, maybe before the end of his life, he's starting to think, oh God, maybe there was something to that, and maybe he was planning on telling Jon. But that's a whole.
All right, so how we're gonna run it? Because Phil, my thing seems to be lagging. All right, so we're gonna do it. I'm gonna have Phil instead of say Teflon. We're gonna put Phil. You could put Issues Guy. All right, in your thing. We have LML's link to his channel for the after show right in there. We have Phil's link to the channel for his after show right in there. Make sure you guys go to those shows, hop back and forth, help them both out. You know what I mean? Again, we'll be on Direwolf City tomorrow night. The Don Tony Teflon, Bridge 4, Phil the Issues Guy, the usual suspects being there. We have over 590 people. That's the most we've had so far this season. Thank you, everyone, to come in and subscribe. As a man that I am, I promised you that I will give away one of these thug mugs. So what's going to happen? Let's get this straight right now so that when it goes down, we don't get upset. All right. LML is going to ask a question. He knows the answer. I don't know. He's doing it. Phil, he's done answering the question. Phil is going to put his name in the chat. Only the answers underneath Phil's name, and we're going to go by Phil the Issues Guy's chat because he's putting his name. I know everyone else's chat comes in different. Any answer that comes underneath there that is the answer is the one we go with.
So should I the point is to give everyone an even chance to answer, right? Because of the lag and stuff?
Yes.
Well, so why don't I just type the question into the chat? Because then everyone will see it at exactly the same time.
All right, so that's what we'll do.
And do it in, since you're asking the question, LML, do it in your chat. Like the first person that answers right.
Right. So LML's he's gonna type the question in the chat right now.
Do you have any music in your studio? Do you have any like Jeopardy? Boop, boop, boop.
I do have Jeopardy. I actually do have Jeopardy. Give me a second.
Yes, we do. We're professionals here.
Yeah, of course I have Jeopardy.
We're Bridge, how come I don't got a Bridge 4 shirt? Why didn't you give me one?
I turned it off. I bought 5 myself, and then I was like, this is dumb.
I want one. I want one.
Thank you.
I did the long version.
So we have it going. When you're ready to let us know when you're ready to hit enter and everything else, and we'll do this giveaway. And if you win, and someone's gonna win.
I'm ready. I'm sending it through, and then I'll read it after I type it. So
one.
Besides Valyria, Westeros, and Asshai, where is the only other place to have a confirmed historical record of a dragon being present?
Music, Phil.
Bonus points if you can name specifics about where and when and all that.
Can you read it one more time for everybody?
Yes, one more time. Besides Valyria, Westeros, and Asshai, what is the one other place in the world that we have a confirmed historical sighting of a dragon? And the first answer after my question that was correct is Airborne 218. It is Yi Ti. That is correct. It's Emperor Chai Duke the Fourth, I believe, that kept a dragon at his court. Married a Valyrian, a noble woman from Valyria.
So Airborne 218. Where is it? I can't highlight it. I'm trying to find it. It's too much stuff going on.
Airborne 218.
There was a great movie about rollerblading called Airborne.
I thought you were talking about Prayer of the Rollerboys for a second. That was
Florida. I also would have accepted Florida.
So Airborne 218. You are the winner of the Thug mug. I'm gonna send one of these to you, and then when you watch the Don Tony Teflon, you can fill up your Thug mug and rock with me and have a drink with me. Airborne 218. What you got to do is hit me on Teflon TV on Facebook, and then send me your email address, and we'll send it right to you right there. I see you right there. I just seen your thing right there. So Airborne 218, congratulations. I just need your email address, and I'm going to need your address and where you want to send to, P.O. Box or whatever you want to send to. Hit me up there, and then we'll get that to you and everything else. Thank you, Airborne.
So Pentos, I guess if you want to get technical, Pentos had eggs. And their dragon lords have visited places, but I'm talking, the Yi Ti account, that's like a dragon lived there. So that's what I was looking for.
And let's do it every week. We'll give away a Thug mug every week if we got it. We'll keep the same standards. Same goal, same stance every week. We'll do one every week, so everyone has a chance. We'll give away 4 more for the end of the
And
season.
Sathorios has wyverns and velociraptors and shit, but no dragons that we know of.
And people say, LML, can we do a trivia stream? LML, would you do a trivia stream on your channel?
I've done a couple. Yeah, I did one like on for Easter. I did a 420 Dragon's Egg trivia.
All right, so this is what we do. Next time we do it, I'm being nice right now. We gave it to everyone. Next week, we're going to do the same thing. But when we go to that, we're going to go to subscriber only mode. All right? It's only fair. So next week, it will be when the chat goes up, it's going to be subscriber only. So only subscribers will have the chance to win. So make sure you subscribe so you have your chance to win. Because next week we'll give one away, but it will definitely be subscriber only in the chat. You'll see it pop up right in the chat, and it'll say you're only allowed to leave a comment if you subscribe. It's something like you can't just subscribe right then. So you got to be subscribed for like 5 minutes. So make sure that you subscribe right now in order to be when you have the chance to win what's going on and everything else. All right. We're going to get out of here right now because it's time. We're going on a little bit. We just got a new subscriber, Catherine True Blood. Thank you. Love True Blood. In fact, True Blood is coming back on HBO. They're doing the whole thing with True Blood. Like they're putting an old show back out. I know the podcast True Blood just started up again. So
they're pulling it out to go up against Interview with the Vampire on AMC.
Yeah, they're doing something with True Blood on HBO right now and stuff and everything else. So make sure everything else is good up there. All right. I told you where everyone can be found. LML, you know where you can be found. He can be found. His link is in the descriptions. Catch him on the after show when it's all said and done. Phil the Issues guy, you can catch him in the after show when it's all.
I will be joined tonight by the Walking David impressionist extraordinaire.
The Walking David, who I've seen on some type of shows and stuff. He's been getting some gigs.
Yeah, getting some real gigs. Getting some real gigs. He might pop up on From Before Us, Tony. I'll be pissed off.
He better not, that motherfucker.
If he shows up in that town before us, dude.
We better be up in that town. Bridge 4, what's next coming from you?
I'm actually going live after the show tonight too, only for 20 minutes though, and then I'm pulling
Bridge
all
4
that.
will be live.
Yeah,
Bridge 4 is live too. To give us reaction and thoughts.
Yeah, but I'm pulling an all-nighter to bust out my breakdown. Yeah,
I'm going to be up all night. I'll be up all night too with you. All right. If you like the way you do this, please thumbs up to spread this across the realm. And as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay